Hey guys, it's Myella. Welcome back to Myella's Movie Talk. No proper intro. Because, oh my god, these updates are coming and they're coming fast. Pause. The amount of videos I'm gonna have to make on this. Whoo, we're getting updates by the millisecond. I can't even sleep without them being like, they announced this. I get up and I can't. This week's gonna be a week. So, yeah. This is my CinemaCon 2025 coverage. I wish I was there, but I'm not, so this will have to do. Let's get into it. This episode will focus on the Lionsgate panel. I didn't think Lionsgate was gonna come through with so much craziness, because I fell asleep for a while. I couldn't sleep at all last night, so I fell asleep for a little bit. And then Lionsgate was like, here. There is like some big stuff they announced. It's like, wow, I didn't expect much. They seem to have left out a franchise. Interesting. But that'll be covered in another video. Right now, we gotta get to all the stuff that Lionsgate covered. I might need to cover some of this stuff out of order, because one thing needs a giant segment. Holy Lionsgate. Alright, let's begin. Where should I begin? The Long Walk is a Stephen King adaptation. I have not read whatever book or short story. It's either a book or a short story. You never quite know until you watch it. And it will be released on September 12th. Starring Copper Hoffman, David Johnson. He was in Alien Romulus. Cool. Ben Wang, Charlie Plummer, Judy Greer, and Mark Hamill. If I had a nickel. Because is Mark Hamill not in The Life of Chuck? Which I didn't know whether to include or not here, because I don't think it's like neon. I'll do, if there's any side segments I need to do where I'm not sure to put stuff in, I think I might make a separate video for that. But, yeah, no, another Stephen King adaptation. I've never read said book, but interesting. David Johnson said that they had to shoot the new Long Walk movie chronologically, with some shoot days including having to walk 10 to 15 miles. Bruh, I would give up. 10 to 15 miles? Look, I walk my dog enough. I'm not a walker, nor am I a runner. I want to exercise more. You know, props to them. I could not be doing what you're doing. September, guys. We get to watch people walk. I'm guessing is the plot of the film. I'll have to. We'll see, man. I have to look more into it. A few other little side tangents. Power Ballad. Stars Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. Not the duo I expected. What an unexpected Paul Rudd duo. If you watch my Sony one that I uploaded a bit ago, he's with Jack Black in Anaconda. But that doesn't sound unexpected. This sounds more unexpected. Follows the story of a wedding singer, a rock star, and the song that comes between them. Ooh, we got rights drama. I always find it so interesting with music when you find out, okay, this person sings this thingy, and then, you find out they didn't write it, and then it's a completely different person that wrote it, and you're just like, whoa. I don't know, that's just kind of cool to find out, so maybe if it's about that whole process, then I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Then, the trailer for Good Fortune was shown, and it's about the guy from, I think, Parks and Recreation. I haven't watched it. I've just seen some clips from it. I can't pronounce the name, man. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be nice with it. Keanu Reeves. I think this whole thing is just the Keanu Reeves saga. It's about Keanu Reeves as a budget guardian angel who tries to teach this guy that wealth doesn't fix problems, but it fails. What the hell, sure. This whole thing is just the Keanu Reeves show, you know? I'm surprised he didn't show up at CinemaCon, get up on the stage and be like, "You're breathtaking!" Wouldn't that be nice? We probably won't get that a bit later. Then they showed the first trailer for The Housemaid, starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. Sydney Sweeney is the live-in housemaid who is tormented by the couple that she works for. That's, interesting. They always got my girl Sydney crying over something. I haven't watched Euphoria, but, I've seen her in Immaculate. That's a pretty epic movie. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Everything I see her in, I've seen clips, she's always crying in Euphoria. She was rightfully so crying in Immaculate. They have this girl in tears all the time, and I feel so bad. Damn. I feel bad for this girl. And I'm gonna be tormenting her. What Sydney did to deserve this? And then, The Weeknd has a movie. I say I'm a fan of The Weeknd. I'm from where he's from. Canada. So it stars Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan, and it's called Hurry Up Tomorrow, like the name of his newest released album. And you know what? It looks pretty interesting. It comes out next month. And you know what? I'll be watching. I do like The Weeknd. I feel like this, I don't know. I feel like this could be devastating. We don't know what The Weeknd got up his sleeve. One second he'll be making the greatest music that you'll hear in your life. The next he'll make The Idol. And then he'll do this. He is a man of many talents. But seriously, I'll watch. I like The Weeknd. That new album, I like the song with Anita, and I like the song with Playboi Carti. Ever since I was a kid, knew I was. And yeah, people are shocked that we did not get footage for the Michael Jackson biopic simply titled Michael. I don't know why any of you are shocked. They apparently had to go back and reshoot stuff for this film because of they ran into some problems. Let me see if I can find the source of said problems, but we ran into a little bit of an issue here. Oh boy. The third act of the Michael Jackson biopic has been scrapped and will have to be reshot due to a legal issue. The third act focused on the 1993 investigation to Jordan Chandler's claim that Michael Jackson essayed him at 13 years old. Jackson's estate forgot to sign a deal with the Chandler family years ago to never include the nation of the movie, rendering the third act pretty much unusable. I'm not the person to dive into the legal issues of anything, and that just ain't that's not me. I'm just saying that's crazy work. That's crazy work. Reshooting a whole third act is crazy work. I can't get over the first picture. I think it's it's one of his family members playing Michael. And it's holy crap, you look like the guy. You look so much like him. It's almost terrifying. We'll see how this goes. I'm betting on this movie making $1 billion. I don't care what nobody says. I think it's gonna make $1 billion. No matter what you think, it's gonna make a Billy. I can see the Billy. I can see the Billy in the future, but it's probably not. I'm guessing they pushed it back, and maybe they may be a little too scared to say that they did. But we shall see. We shall see. That's crazy, man. A whole third act. 2 franchises that I wanted to get into before I get into the big franchise news that they got into. American Psycho. American Psycho is one of my favorite movies. No, I'm not a alpha male person that hates women. I just really like the movie and would like to cosplay Patrick Bateman. I think that would be fun. I always just quote the, "Why not, you stupid." But yeah, of course, American Psycho. You know it, you love it, or you hate it, I don't know. But Luca Guadagnino, he's directed, Challengers, Call Me By Your Name, directed a lot of noticeable stuff, right? He's directing this, and usually, I don't hate reboots, but I'm always incredibly cautious. I'm like, ooh, what territory are we treading into? Ooh, who's working on this thing? 'Cause it's Luca, now I'll watch. If it wasn't Luca, I probably wouldn't care. But it's Luca. There were rumors flying around that Austin Butler would be playing Patrick Bateman, and now they're saying talks are ongoing with actors for the leads. So maybe the Austin Butler thing wasn't true. I wouldn't be mad at it. I think Austin's a very good actor. I don't know. I'm not a casting director, so when people are like, oh, what's your fan cast for this character from a comic? Or they're to reboot this, who would you fan cast as this person? I'm no casting director, right? I couldn't figure that out for you. I don't know who could take up Christian Bale's charm as Patrick Bateman, right? So we'll have to see. Because it's Luca, I'm in. Because it's Luca, I'm in. This is going to be interesting. Also, Hunger Games. I am actually a pretty big fan of the Hunger Games. I grew up in that whole era of teen dystopian, whatever you want to call it, Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner, all that stuff, right? But yeah, I'm mostly a Hunger Games person. I really like the movie that they came out with recently, Ballad of the Songbirds and the Snakes. Here's the thing, I haven't read the book. Now you're gonna question my credibility. But I want to. And I really, really enjoyed that movie. I don't think there's been a single Hunger Games miss. Now, they came out with the book that this movie will be based on recently, Sunrise on the Reaping, and is about my boy Haymitch, who was played by Woody Harrelson. My cousin has already read the book and literally texts me saying, I'm upset, this is, devastating. I'm like, dude, they're making a movie. Imagine the movie. I have not read the book. Please don't spoil the book for me yet, but just without spoilers, is that sad? We crying for real? We're devastated. We're crying for real, aren't we? So, man, this one's gonna be a gut punch. I just wonder who is going to, who can we cast that we can see growing up to be Haymitch as played by Woody Harrelson, right? I don't know who. I really don't know who. I don't know who we could get. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where this goes. But if y'all are saying it's as devastating as it is, I ain't ready. Now, we got not one, but 2 things announced in a franchise. Now You See Me 3. I watched the first 2, I think, a couple years ago, and I thought they were super fun. Oh my god, it's spies, but they're magicians. That's sick. So, I was super hyped when I heard it was going to be a third. And we have the official title, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That works. I know it's going to be Now You Three Me, but you know what? This is fine. And it's in theaters on November 14th. Now, the other kicker. Now You See Me 4 is in the works. Another one. That's honestly cool. For me, this is awesome. For me, this is awesome. I'm excited. This is gonna be cool. What other crazy magic stuff can you do? We're gonna go bigger this time. You kind of have to. I seriously wonder what other tricks they have up their sleeve. Get it? I'm excited. Shush, I'm excited. This. I had to save this till the end. Some stuff was shown at the beginning, but I needed this to be the end of the video, alright? This is the kicker. This is the kicker. This sent my brain into overdrive. Mind you, I was asleep because I needed at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, a lifetime of sleep before I can go on with my day. This woke me right back up. I looked down at my phone and I was like, oh my god. Right? At the beginning of the panel, they showed some stuff for Ballerina. I covered the trailer a couple weeks ago, I don't know, I have no perception of time. And it shows a whole action sequence of Ana de Armas who perfectly embodies the action style of the John Wick films, including a one take. There is a one take! Y'all, I am a sucker for one takes. I think, all films should have one takes. I don't know, I just think it's so sick. But, we're just you know what? We're probably just gonna get updates on Ballerina, right? It's coming out in June. That's all we're gonna get. You know what? To me, it looks like a fun movie. See you in June, and the Lionsgate goes, well, now it's The Long Walk. Well, now it's Hunger Games. Well, now it's American Psycho. Stop right there. I'm gonna announce this out of order, too, because I think the last one genuinely needs to be discussed, right? So, there is a spin-off in the works for our boy, Kane, who was played by Donnie Yen in John Wick Chapter 4. And Donnie Yen is directing! He's directing this too! That is crazy. Imagine, cause then that's full control. Cause that is a character that you play. That is a character that you perfected. That we all grew to love because of your portrayal. So it's that must be the coolest thing. And it's going to be modeled off his previous action films, which is also going to be sick. Kane was cool. Kane was the homie. There were a lot of, amazing side characters in John Wick Chapter 4, and that's, one of my biggest, praises that I'll forever give that movie, because, that's my favorite John Wick film, is that the side characters, whether new or old, amazing. Amazing! So, I'm happy that we're getting something for Kane, and I hope this opens the door for everyone else to get spin-offs. Because, I think that's how they should have continued the franchise. Keep giving us spin-offs for all these characters that we now as an audience do care about. And it's not giving spin-offs for the sake of giving spin-offs, right? My voice nearly died there. Whew. I'm talking so fast. This one might be the most hype for me. A John Wick prequel anime movie is in the works. Directed by Shannon Tindall, director of Kubo and the Two Strings, which is an awesome movie. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Keanu Reeves will return, and it's about John killing all his rivals in one night to free himself from the High Table. The beef continues. The beef between John and the High Table continues. But make it anime. This is all I could have ever wanted. Thank you, Lionsgate. Thank you, Lionsgate. Over another franchise, I've been very upset with you over the past few weeks, but thank you, Lionsgate. You've won me back. to a degree. We'll get to that later. This is... I'm so hyped. This is the coolest thing ever. This is gonna be sick. I am so excited. Like, this is like... If I was Keanu, I'd be like, say less. Say less. This sounds awesome. You know what? Everything should have, like, an animated adjacent thing to its universe, right? Spider-Man has. John Wick has. Like, we just... More of that. This is gonna be cool. I'm sat day one. This one confuses me a little. They just really have, like, a genuine discussion with the most that I can muster from this, right? John Wick 5 is officially happening, and a story has been decided. If you got this far, you know what happens in John Wick 4, or you've seen John Wick 4, and or you just know what happens, and you didn't really care to watch, which I'm missing out, but alright. But spoiler alert, I guess? We watched him die. They watched him die on the steps. Blood, guys. He whispers the name of his wife and dies. I guess now we have to say supposedly. We gotta do air quotes now. Got buried next to his wife. Was asked, is he in heaven or hell? And just like, they just left it with, who knows? And like the last line of John Wick 4 is, farewell, my son. Something like that. I don't know. I get all sad when the ending comes up and I just hide my face and cry. What is happening? They better have the greatest excuse of all time. Of all time. Of all time. For this to be a thing, right? And here's the thing. Here's what I find funny. Funny. Maybe they said this, like, at CinemaCon, like, in person, so and then anybody, if I had some viewer that went, let me know. If somebody comes across this video and they let me know. Right? It's obviously confirmed that John is in Ballerina, right? Because it's, like, it takes place... I'm forgetting the timeline again. It's like between 3 and 4, or during 3, something like that, right? He's obviously not in the spin-off for Kane. That's obviously going to be his own little adventure. And he's in the John Wick prequel, emphasis on the prequel anime movie, right? So it all makes sense for Keanu to come back as John. Is bro fighting the high table in hell or something? A lot of people have made jokes like John will just have to be fighting demons. As if bro wasn't fighting enough demons while he was alive. That's the only way I think I'll take it. If John is like in the underworld on some Evil Dead stuff fighting some Deadites. And, like, shoots the devil in the head. Right? Because, like, this is insane. Literally, how do you do this? I mean, obviously, everyone's gonna say, Manny! Hold your horses. Hold them. Not too hard. I don't know how many of you can carry a horse. This is just nuts. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this. This is just nuts. This is just nuts. This is nuts. We'll have to see how it goes. Of course, I will watch. There's no way I wouldn't unless I watch that trailer and I do that video on said trailer and we can tell that the plot is going to be horrible. But otherwise, I wouldn't really skip out on anything John Wick. I still haven't watched that show on Amazon, but I will get to it. Calm yourself. I needed to just get my breathing room on camera, because, like, this is so crazy. Being a John Wick fan is wild. We've never lost, per se. I don't think we've ever suffered a massive loss. And I hope we never have to. I hope we never have to. And that wraps it up for my 2025 CinemaCon Lionsgate coverage. I will catch you soon. Probably. There's another panel in a few minutes. At the time I'm recording this, I'll catch you soon.